So hi, I'm Maggie. I'm the food blogger behind Omnivore's Cookbook. It's a Chinese recipe blog where I share mostly Chinese and other Asian recipes to my readers. I've been blogging for 5 years. I originally from China.
Is your mic on?
Oh, this is the recording. Still, can you hear? Not really. Like I'm gonna stand a little bit closer. We have a smaller crowd, so this is better. Yesterday, so many people. Anyway, so I originally from China, Beijing. 3 years ago, I moved here because I got married, and my husband is American. So I started food blog back in 2013 when I still have a day job. Believe it or not, I worked at like a bank. Super boring. I hated my job. I hated my life. So I was trying so hard to find something else to do so I can quit my day job. So I started the blog. It was such a great, like one of the best choices in my life. So after 3 years, I managed to just start to make more profit from my blog, and now I'm making a full-time income. So I'm very happy about that. So today I want to talk about Lightroom, of course, but I also want to keep this session like more interactive and light because I know that you guys been doing this for like 2 days, wake up early and go through all the sessions. It's probably tired right now. Yeah? So please feel free to ask any questions, and I'm happy to answer other questions that related to like blogging or food photography or anything. So because I feel like there's only so much you can get. Like I can talk you through things like how to do this in Lightroom, but you probably see this somewhere else. Like there are only so much information I can give during the short 2 hours. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask me. So I want to ask again, like how many of you have never used Lightroom before? Okay, and what about the rest? You've been using it like a lot, like you've created your workflow already, and just want to learn a bit more like advanced.
Yeah, I want to see if there's something that I'm not
like
aware
missing.
of,
Yeah.
should be using.
Yeah.
Just to learn more about it.
Yeah, and what about like blogging in general and photography? Like how long you've been doing this?
So for me, 3 years. I've been using Lightroom for over a year.
Okay. Anyone else want to share?
I'd say I've been using Lightroom for probably 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. Expert, or like consider quite a lot. Okay. So I think I want to just quickly go through how I do things. It has a lot of basics, so I'll try to make it quick, but I still want to cover all the basics. And after that, I also want to talk just a little bit more food styling, like how I do things and how I just, in general, like make a recipe, and how do I prepare, how do I shoot and post production, and like to speed things up in general. So here is, I want to just quickly talk about why Lightroom, because I used to use Photoshop to edit all my photos. I've been using that for years. But later on I learned about, and after like a couple years of blogging, I have like thousands of photos. And they're just scattered everywhere, and it's so difficult to manage. And I feel like my folder get bigger and bigger. I have so many files, and if you save in Photoshop, the file is really big. So I decided to switch to Lightroom because I've heard so many good things about it's a great management tool. So it's not just about editing, it's actually more about managing. So what it does is that it has a system called catalog. So after you copy all your photos from your camera into your computer, it creates a database inside of Lightroom. Instead of editing the original photo, it just use like a way smaller information to edit your photos and record all the editing history. So it does not destroy your original photo. So say you edit the photo like 3 years ago, and maybe like I do that a lot. Like I rewrite recipes, like something I did at the beginning, I'm not proud of it. Like so many wrong things. So I want to, the photo it's not that bad. Like I just want to make it look slightly better, like recrop it, like make it maybe a Pinterest, like a build more beautiful pin. So I actually can go back and re-edit. Because if you added the photo and you want to make it back, it's kind of hard. Like like if you already delete the original photo and you already add it and save to JPEG, it's just have very little information, and you cannot you cannot make the size bigger without losing some quality. So I think like that's the really the merit of the Lightroom, is that it does non-destructive editing, that you can go back. If you're unhappy with editing, you can just go back. Like there's unlimited history stored inside of the database. And the other thing is, it's so easy to use preset in Lightroom. It's basically a filter. If you use Instagram, it's the Instagram filter that give your give your photos a different, like a very unique color. And it is a great method to build your brand. Like just let your readers know, like, oh, this is your photos, like like a style. And I also like the fact that you can add watermarks so easily. I added watermark to all my photos, and then there's the batch editing. I think you can do that in Photoshop too, but Lightroom is so much easier. Like after I do one shoot, I have maybe like 20 photos, and I import into Lightroom and added just one photo, and I click one button and just sync. So every photo have the same edit. So that's why I think is a great tool for food bloggers.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So there's two different types of Lightroom, right? There's the classic.
Yeah, it's so confusing. I use the classic, the old one. So I never installed, because they released the new one. So I've seen that one. It's
What's the difference?
They changed their interface.
That's it?
I don't think there's like a big difference. It just looks different, and you can still find things. It's just like, it moved somewhere, like it's moved to a weird place. But I feel like it's the same. I don't know why they did it. Yeah. And if you accidentally upgrade it to the new version, I don't think it's a major issue, because you can still find all the things you need. I don't think it's a problem. So.
Sorry. If I'm downloading it for the first time, someone said to get classic.
Yeah. The classic is the classic one is the older one. It's the one that I'm showing you. Like I was so afraid to do upgrade. I was like, I don't want this interface to change just before the session. So here's the if you click on this is not connected to internet. Anyway, one is called Lightroom. One is Lightroom Classic. So the Classic is the one that is original. Like if you get any tutorial on internet, it's probably the Classic. The new one, like nobody likes it. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah.
Really quick, what's a watermark tool?
Oh, so it's like if you add your own website on the bottom of the photo. So if someone steal it, it's still going to be there. I mean, they can, of course, they can crop it off. But I just feel like, if someone pin your photos from your blog, they just pin it, and they might not say this is from where, and people can still see this is yours.
Got it.
It's just a thing.
Okay.
So I save all my photos in external hard drive, because the size of the file is just getting bigger and bigger. Here's the thing. It's kind of tricky. So when you add it in Lightroom, it does nothing to your photos. So the folders of your photos are completely separated from its database. So Lightroom kind of built a bridge between its own database and your photos. So say you imported your photos to your computer and you add it in Lightroom, and 3 days later you feel like, oh, I don't have space. So you moved your photo to somewhere else. Lightroom cannot find it. So it's kind of just start to pop a question mark, and it says like you cannot edit your photos because Lightroom think it's disappeared. So a lot of photographers suggest you to like save all your photos in one spot. And I feel like because I do all my editing on my laptop and the space is really limited, so I just try to organize all my photos in the like a bigger 6 terabyte external hard disk. It's already half full. Just in case, it's get bigger and bigger, and later on, it's a lot of trouble to move it. And
Have you ever considered Dropbox as well?
I do use that. I use Dropbox to save all the exported photos, so I can share with my team, and my assistant can do more like whatever, create pins or crop it or anything else. Yeah. But it just gets so big that
keep your originals untouched as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's the original. That's maybe I will never use it, so I just put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's why I put all my yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When you're putting your photos from your SD card on the computer,
Yeah.
what is it going into first? And is that the raw file, and then Lightroom edits the JPEG?
Oh yeah. So I do. When you import, actually I'm gonna talk about this very quickly. I'm going to show you later. But so what I do when I import, I usually use copy as DNG. So what it does is, what I do is after you shoot, you have the SD card. You put it in the computer, instead of like moving the folder from your camera by, manually, you go to Lightroom, and it should automatically pop up your camera, the card. I don't have one here, but it should automatically show up. So if you choose copy here, it will copy all your photos to your computer. That's not what I do. So what I do is copy as DNG. What it does is it creates a slightly smaller file that is optimized for Lightroom. So it's slightly smaller and slightly faster.
Is it still raw?
It is still sort of. It's not. So you can open it with Lightroom, Photoshop, like whatever, but you might not able to open it with the software come with your camera. You know what I mean? It's like a Lightroom format of the raw, like it's a Lightroom raw format. It's still going to be like, for me, it's going to be like 25 megabyte per photo, like downsize maybe from 35 megabyte.
Sure. It's still like way bigger.
It is still way, like it's a raw file. It's a raw file. It's just optimized.
Okay.
So then once you saved it from that, when you're done editing and you want to put it on a blog, do you now have to save it as something else to do that?
Yes, because the original photo, because you just save it somewhere, and when you export, you make a copy of JPEG, and that's where I actually saved the JPEG to my Dropbox, like like you did.
So in what instance would you use copy instead of copy as like if it's like?
Oh, I just always use this, but if I download it from my phone, I have phone photos, then you can just copy that because it's JPEG. Like even if you use that, they say like, oh, none of them converted.
Default, right? The copy is.
Right. It's the default one. Yeah.
So when you import a copy as DNG from your camera and you're done editing, you export and save it to your Dropbox, you delete them off your camera? What do you do after?
Oh, I delete the raw file from a camera, but I never delete the DNG. It's the Lightroom raw file. I still have all of them.
And that's on your laptop?
Yeah, that's on my external hard drive. Yeah.
So when you import as a DNG, it saves it to your hard drive automatically?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's actually, if you want to back up, which I highly recommend it, to do it, to make a second copy, it can do it at the same time. Yeah. So, yes. Right. So yes. So I just save everything. So it's the same. Like the original file is like a food folder. Under the food folder, there is separated by years and the recipe name and the date I create the photos. Just my way to organize things. What's next? Oh yeah. So So after this interface is where you import your photos. So I just want to quickly go through the setup here. Actually, a lot of them is default. So I always do the standard preview, build smart preview. The smart preview means that when you don't have your original photos, say you saved your original photo in another hard drive and you're traveling with a laptop, you can still edit your photos. And after you go home, Lightroom kind of just syncs things together, and you can then export your photos as a JPEG. Rename file name, I always make sure to rename it so you can search it, like find it in your in your computer. Here, during import, this is the place I actually apply all my preset. It's the editing, like the automatic edit all my photos here. And I'm going to actually explain more later. And here is the metadata. I add a copyright information here, just in case someone else steal my image and they put on their website, they might crop the watermark, but it still tell Google that this is shoot by me.
Oh my God.
So I think this is quite important, just to protect your own photos. What you do is to create, like you do new, and you can just put all your information. I'll show you how I did mine. Let me see. Where is it? So I just put that, it's a standard copyright. I put my name there, copyrighted, email, my website. So it just like this small information embedded in my photo that tells Google that this is my photo. Okay.
Can you leave that there for 1 second?
Yeah.
And that's on the apply during.
Yes. So it's just you never really see it, but it's inside in your photo.
This may be a silly question, maybe everybody already knows the answer, but I'm trying to remember. I know that there's like a Google service where you can get, had it set up on another business years ago, and I haven't had the need to use it, where it
copyright
scan and see if any of your content or images are on other sites.
Yeah.
I forget. It's like Google something.
I don't remember the website. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. So
there is.
And so that for this copyright stuff, that would be something that would be helpful.
I mean, if you want to sue someone.
Or if you want to know.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a long shot. I'm just saying that. But then, other photographer actually said that sometimes, brand find your photos at random place, and they're like, oh, I really like this photo. They actually can pull this up and see your email and contact you. But which is great for photography. I'm just saying this is like just extra step you do that, which is benefit maybe a little bit. So I always do this. And then there's the destination. I just is like where you store your photos, and I always put it into a subfolder. Just like the name, the date, and the name. So after you've done everything. You can just here save the current setting as a new preset. So this is the first place that you save your the first template. So next time when you shoot something, you can I just click on my food preset, and everything just show up like that. So you don't have to remember what I did last time and retweak it. And after this, you can just click import, and everything will just move to your move from your camera to your computer. So after you import all your photos, you can view them in the library, like here. And the panels I will usually use is just like here. When you browse your photos, and then here you can do all the edit. And now. Just mention about this print thing later. I use that to create a Pinterest pin. This is a fast way to do it. So, and here I want to quickly talk about how to go through all your photos quickly and select the ones you want to edit and put them in the collection. So,
I have a quick question about that.
Yeah.
My process is I upload it into my iPhoto first. I go through all photos there, pick the ones I want to edit, and those I specifically.
Why you do that in iPhoto?
On my phone.
iPhoto. Oh, you said iPhoto. Why you use that?
I don't know. Just like intuitively, that's what. Do you think that's like? there's
Oh, that's an extra step. Well, that's one more step.
Yeah.
You can just do it here.
Okay, show me.
So it's really faster here. It's so fast.
Yeah.
Say this is I did this a long time. It's not pretty. It is artificial light. It's so fake. Artificial light for Melissa produced beautiful vegetables, and I have like 200 photos for one, like just vegetable and stuff. And you probably just pick like 20. So what here you can do is to I click on space and they just show up the photo, and you go through one by one. And when you see something you like, you click on the keyboard P. It's called pick. Okay. It says flag. It's flag as pick. It just mark it. So it goes through your 200 photos like really, really fast. Like this is overexposed, and
I'm sorry. What was the shortcut here?
just click the P. The pick.
Control.
Pasta. It's a pasta. Yeah.
So just P.
Just P.
Okay. Oh.
So, or you can actually flag it by using this small thing. Like you can click on it. It's just faster if you just click past it. Yes, past it. You click on the things you think it might be usable. Like okay, not bad. Click on all those things. So just flag as pick, and after you've done this, like you can go through 200 photos in like maybe 5 minutes, and then you can click on this filter. It just shows all the picked photos, and then I use the shortcut Command and A, like or the Control plus A if you use Windows. It just select all the photos, and now I go to you can see here it's still like my computer, but underneath this like a long list. Okay, where's the thing? So you go to the collection and use the mark. Click on the create new collection. Say veggies. So it just pulls all your photos here. So here what the Lightroom did is like it did not make a copy. It did not make an actual copy of all your photos. It's just kind of pull all your picked photos into a collection. It's like a very small, store in this database. So, so you can see that here I sort all my photos with the date and the name. And actually, when you want to go back, you can always see the good photos. It's not like the 60 photos you took for one shoot. It's only the, I want to look at that again. It's only like those good photos. Yeah.
So earlier you talked about renaming, that you recommend renaming all of your photos.
Yeah.
Right? You do that before this step?
Yes.
And then you
Because that's
name
when
your collection.
Yes, because that's when you copy your original photos from your camera. So the original file is named.
Right.
So here it's just like kind of like a bookmark. Like you add a website to your bookmark, so you name that so you can find it later.
So do you name them?
It does not change your original file. The original file, the name of your raw file is still the same, when you import.
That makes sense to me. I was just clarifying.
Yeah.
Sure. So when you name like a batch of photos, do you use an intuitive name like Farmers Market Visit July 17th, 2018?
Yeah, I always do like the year, month, date, and the recipe name, or like whatever shoot I did.
So that you can search for it.
Right. And the reason I always use a date in front of it is because recipe name, it can be tricky. You have like a vanilla cupcake, but next time, at first I thought about what if I named them just to put the recipe name there, and I can use the alphabetic order to find them later. But then I realized that you can never remember. It's like a 15 minutes cupcake, 5 ingredients, something, or like fast and easy. It's just so confusing. So I just you always use the date. Also, because I'm a control freak, I have all my recipes in my Excel, so I can always find it. So yes, after you create a collection, there's one more thing. So I just because you can only put the photos in the collection, but there's another thing called a collection set. So it kind of like the concept is kind of like create a folder. When you create a collection set, say I name it like today, Melissa's veggies. So it kind of like create a folder here that you can put your collection underneath. Wait a second. Where is it? I cannot find it. Oh, here, my lists. Oops, put the wrong one there. So why I just put the wrong stuff there. So why I did this is because I kind of like the idea of having the flexibility of the subfolder, because I used to, when I used to do a shoot, I have like, oh, that's totally different. I used to have like all my photos here, and then I would narrow down a little bit further, because maybe you pick 10 photos from your 60 photos from one shoot, and you only use 3 on your blog. So I actually picked the 3, and I put them on in another, like I call it web. I just put it, like drag it there, so it's like, oh, this is the smaller collection I'm going to use later. Just my way to do it. You can do, without, it doesn't matter. So after this, like all photos are sorted, and you can go to develop to edit your photos. So here is the like where I actually want to talk about the concept of preset. How many of you using preset in Lightroom? Okay, so it's just like an Instagram filter that it just make everything look better. It makes the photo have like add contrast, different colors and stuff. Just it's kind of like create your own editing signature. So the benefit of this is that, say, let me quickly show you this. Say I have the mushroom soup. So this is the original raw file. This is flat and it's just not pretty. So if you have a preset, so what I did, so my preset is Viesco A6 plus a little bit tweaking by myself. So if I click on my preset, oops, no, here. So it immediately just looks better now. Like you don't even need to add it. It just go ahead.
Artificial light or natural light?
This is natural light, but if you want to learn about artificial light, I can talk about that later. I used that a lot in the past, but I don't use it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just like it does its own editing. If you look at here, it makes the highlight a little bit lower, increase, make the shadow a little bit lighter. Does a little bit S-curve thing to make it like has an old film look. Tweak the colors, make it like a slightly muted color. It's just those things that it does, as a filter that you maybe purchased or downloaded from website with a little bit tweaking of yourself. You can save all those informations as a preset. So next time, at the import place, you can just click on that and it does this. You don't even see your raw file. After the file is copied, it's already look like that. Yeah.
What about white balance? Like, let's say your camera looks good, you import it, and you're like, the white balance is off. How do you adjust that in Lightroom?
Oh yeah, so that's super easy. So you just go to here. This is this thing called.
Never used that.
Oh, never use it? Okay, great. So you click on it. It's called like a selector or something.
Yeah, eyedropper.
Yeah. So you click. So ideally you should click on like a gray area. then it set like the kind of like a perfect white balance. But when you don't have it, you can just click on like maybe black or white. It is still a little bit off. It will be a little bit off, but it does pretty good job.
Yeah.
So if you see, let me find a better example. Maybe here. Oh yeah, I use it all the time. Like this, maybe like this photo is a little bit like too warm. It looks really warm on my computer. So
when you use this little dropper,
Yeah.
is this in collaboration with the temperature balance, or is that different?
it's the same. It's just kind of like a pic. Yeah, you know, you can tweak that, but then you know, like this photo, like I don't like its white balance, so I just use that and I click on maybe like because my Dutch oven is white, so I click on here. It kind of set it.
Yeah.
This is not a great example because it's just because the white balance is not say it's something like that.
Yeah.
So you click on it, you click on your Dutch oven, it's just immediately set it right. It's maybe a little bit off, but then you can use this, you know. Yeah, I think so. It usually does a pretty good job, and you can tweak a little bit more like.
The only times when I've really had to think about that is if I import it to Cookbook and they deny my photo because they say
You're right.
white balance on
Really?
top. Are you serious?
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I have like a love-hate relationship with them.
Yeah, so just do that.
Okay.
8 years to get a picture
Oh my god.
submitted or accepted.
Sometimes they're weird about
No, I
things.
have a bunch of group, but I have like they constantly also don't approve.
It's so weird. So yeah, I mean, you can always tweak this, like maybe make it a little bit blue or yellow, but just use the drop thing.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so you know, like I can talk through all those things, but the truth is, if you have a good preset, and if you just apply that, it kind of does its thing, and you have very little to do later. So, and here I want to just quickly talk about where you can find them. You know, all the nice setup and stuff. So I use VS Code. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love them. They have so many good filters. So my only suggestion is don't use their free ones. Just like I don't really recommend any free filters because everybody uses it. So if you go to your VS Code app on your phone, they have a thing called VS Code 10 that they give you 1 week of free trial. So if you sign that up, and it has like maybe like 100 filters inside of it, you can try on everything. And if you have something that you like, you can go to their website and purchase that to download to your Lightroom.
You can only use presets with Lightroom. Like it doesn't exist if I don't have Lightroom yet.
Oh, you can use photo. What do you use?
I'm embarrassed to say I still use Picasa.
I don't think you can use that.
Yeah.
You can even add it on your phone.
On my phone. So after I
Right.
imported
Yeah,
it,
but it's going to be so much easier if you switch. It's going to be so much. Yeah, it's going to be so much easier because it's just like a standard thing. Yeah.
Are your slides going to be available somewhere?
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna send, like I can send this. You know, after conference, I can. They already have like you know, Abby already have it, so I can just let her know that, send it to everybody who showed up at the place. Or you can, you know, just in case you can give me your email later, I can just send it to you. So yes, so that is one way to get it, because it's kind of standard. You know, like no matter which website you go, they always have like a Photoshop preset and a Lightroom preset. They don't really create other versions. So that's one way to just try out things and see if you, yeah.
I was just saying, is it pretty easy to take a preset and like tweak it slightly to like what you want and save it there?
Yes. So yeah. So what I do is I have like a ton of them. So I have all the VS Code filters here. So you can see, like, you know, like here I can just reset the photo, like this is the original photo. So you can just try them like one by one. You know, like see.
And then you can just like tweak the highlights a little bit or something.
Right. I mean, you have to like the color. You kind of need to go through it. Yep.
Does this go only for mobile, or you can do it with Lightroom?
Both, but they are separate. And so the VS Code you have to purchase there, like on your mobile, it's like a separated thing. And on the desk, like now, like my somehow my Wi-Fi is not working. So if you go to their website on the, use your computer, they have a store.
What are your favorite presets?
I use A6. I use A6, but you can see that like this is the original preset. But I do it slightly different. Like I tweak this thing and I make it to like. Let me show you. This is the. It's slightly, it's just make a tiny difference. But yeah, this is the filter. This is my photo. It's a little bit different, but the thing is, you really want to. You want to just try, like pick some of your photos. I would say the food that you make the most. Like for me, is savory food, or food with different colors, like a salad. Like it shows really, like it's very obvious when you try it on this. Like this is avocado toast. I think this is just so, when you have something that has like green, red and the yellow, it's just so obvious that you can see what this preset does to your photo. Like, see, does that, like make certain part a little bit brighter and it change the grain, the avocado color. Or like, this make it warmer and this would make it like kind of bluish. And then, say you think this, maybe this is too blue. You can still use the pick, the selector and, reset the white balance. This is still, oh yeah. Somehow it looks bluer there. Like on my computer, it looks like normal. Okay. Yeah, you can just like kind of tweak it a little bit because the problem with Riesco filter is that it's created for like nature, travel, and lifestyle. So sometimes they do pretty like weird white balance. It's like super blue or super red. So it's just it looks weird on food. So you always kind of need to tweak its white balance to make it work. And the other places you can find filters are like famous food bloggers' website. Like you can always purchase from them. They're more like they are saying that these filters are designed for food, but I still feel like you still have to change it because do you know Local Milk, right? Like beautiful work. But she does like traveling, like kids, her room, like it's like flowers and stuff. It's just if you put that filter on your pie, it just doesn't look like that. It just looks different. So you kind of just need to try on a bunch of things, like if you want to find like a cheaper option, you can go to Creative Market. They have a bunch of stuff there. Sometimes they give out for free. So I also like kind of just try on random things and you might find something that you really like and just tweak it. So yes, so after applying the filter, here's another thing I usually do. For example, this curry dish I did. So after I apply the filter, I still feel like the food is kind of dark. Yeah. It's always like that. Instant pot, slow cooker, whatever. It's just always so dark in the pot. So I use local adjustment. It is you can either use this circle, the radiate filter, or the brush. So if you use this is for like something that is circled. So you can draw a circle here. Like here you can just set up, like I'm just going to, this is the original dish. So what I do is like I kind of just increase the exposure. Oh, this is too much. I can increase the exposure. I can just tweak the shadow a little bit, maybe like make this, like not too dark. And I also increase the clarity a little bit and the sharpness a little bit.
Can you do that with a brush to be really specific?
Yes, same. It's the same, exactly the same.
Yeah, can you do it? Super
yes.
specific area.
So this is like, this screen looks so sharp. It looks normal on my screen. So say here, I still feel like I kind of want to just spread up like maybe this part and the south. I click on this brush, like here, if you double click effect, it just reset everything, and you can just, like random tweak, maybe add exposure and light up the shadow, and then you can just paint it here, and like here, and then they're like, oh good, yes, yeah, it's so good.
Do the effects first and then you'll use the brush?
Oh yeah, like it's the same. It's oh yes, it's you can tweak it first, or you can like select first, and then you can like after I painted it, I still feel like they're not bright enough. You can still keep tweaking it. You can just tweak it here. Yeah. Is it time yet?
Break time.
Okay, cool.
We don't need a break. No, we can keep going.
Great.
Just keep going.
So we back out.
Great. What's yes, local editing. The pendant thing, which is like just, I was just showing, like this photo. The parsley looks not that great. Like it's kind of like originally, so this is the time that you use this pen to paint it over those things in the small holes, or like especially when you make something like a cupcake or like stack or something. There's always a place that looks a little bit too dark, especially blueberries. It's just always those. I have the blueberry photos. It's so dark. So it does not look like that, unfortunately. Like you can just paint on them. If you put that in a smoothie bowl or something, like there's this like tiny little gaps. Like it's always so dark. You can just paint it over to make it bright. So that's basically how I edit my photos. And and one more thing I just want to quickly talk about. Sometimes you are virtual. Like nowadays I actually never create on purpose. It's not great because you should actually show people like, after you do this recipe, you actually should do it like that. But it's just like when you overcook properly, it just doesn't look really good. Like it's really brown. It's just so brown. I have to just make it slightly better. So what you're going to do here, say, just make this. This is like the original one. I just feel like it's a little bit too yellow. This is actually undercooked properly. If you cook it to the good texture that you actually enjoy eating, it doesn't look like that. This is like too tough. But it's still super yellow. So here, what you're going to do is you go to HXL panel, that is controls, like it shows all the colors inside of the picture. Let's say, if you want to decide, you actually sometimes cannot tell which color it is. You can click on this tiny circle here, and you kind of place it over the photo. It shows that it's exactly what color it is. So like you can see, like I'm placing this over the broccoli. It actually tells me this is yellow. This is not red. What tone is it? It's an HSL panel that you can just go down there and use this tiny circle. Like click on this or this photo, it tells you what color it is. So I can figure out what color it is. So I want it to be red, not yellow. So I go to the color. I do click on the yellow. And I just click it a little bit gray. So now we just unfold it.
So the HSL is to figure out ways like to
Sure. Yeah. So the HSL, so here there are actually a lot of things you can do. So here is like edge saturation.
right, but if you're trying to you're looking at Rocky, you see that you want to
If you want to
use here, left it, then go over to color and then
But you can also just drag the green over, right? Oh, no, so, because, sometimes the color is not green. It's actually yellow. So you just like the green, it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't change.
Can you do one more show us?
We just one time. Just one time. Oh, yeah.
Change that sauce to red.
Yeah. I do that too sometimes. It's like, this should be red, this now should be orange.
So when you're changing that, does it just know that it's changing the broccoli?
Yes. Because that's a part that is, yeah, it's very smart.
Wait, because what?
No, I can't fit it.
Oh, yeah, so
Every yellow and now, right?
it changed a little bit. So say you have very similar colors inside your dish, then it's tricky. It might turn your chicken into red. But here, it does, I think it changed it a little bit, but it's not as obvious as broccoli because it's just like the way it's you have to just try it. So, like you can keep, say, let's say what color is here. The chicken is all like is actually on orange. Like the rest of the pot is kind of like orange. If you kind of just try it here. So I want to change the color orange to I don't know. They can go weird. I want that.
It's really nice.
But it's just like there are so many but you can see like if you but this is like pretty extreme. You can see the other part of the book also changes. It's not like it only changes the top, but it does other like weird things too. So you kind of just need to
Can you mask that also? If it does do like if you want to just like make it in carrots orange, you can post do mask it.
right. Oh yeah, you can do that in Photoshop. But here because if you want to use local adjustment, it does not have HSO down there.
So like I guess if you can't use that brush tool to do color specifically, or I guess you cannot. That I didn't
Usually
I look like
yeah, okay. You can, yes. You can. But I think it's really useful, just because sometimes you accidentally overdo things or just make it, like you look at someone's dish, like, oh, the grain is so great, I'm so crisp. Lettuce never looks like grain. It's always yellow. I just feel like, oh, I would have done it, to make it green. Like avocado is actually yellow, like the inside part, but you can, like some beautiful, style, you're like, it's almost like all grains, even if you have like a bluish color, they're equals. Also, after we've done everything, what I do is to this is like Cookbook, instant pot. It's just it's never going to look good. It's just always going to look like that.
yeah.
But this is actually after editing. Originally, it's just like really dark. But you kind of have to let it out. So anyway, after editing, after you edit one photo, make it better. After you've done everything, you can click on that photo first, and then you just select the rest of them by using the comment plus A, and then you click on sync, and just apply the same add to all the photos.
See the question?
Choose the photo you've done editing, and select the rest of the photos, and then click sync, and everything will be applied. So actually, you can click on that, you can see they actually let you choose where you want to apply. Say you don't really want to change role adjustment because you can record things or because it's different position in our photo, so you can click the role adjustment and just sync the rest of the editing and your comments.
I was just going to ask about this. Is this like it doesn't always apply unless you're the same lighting conditions and everything.
You still need like kind of do it, but it's most of the things I feel like you probably only need to change exposure or maybe fix the backgrounds a little bit. Like if you've done one shoot, same dish,
Right.
how long it take? It's, unless it's some cloudy or whatever. But usually one shoot is doable.
I have a question. Is there a difference between doing the sync versus I have my first photo and then what I'm gonna create a preset and then apply that to the others? What I want. That's what I want. But I mean, once you go back to our image anyways, and jump to see if you want to do it.
Yeah. But so here's the thing. So
But it's essentially the same, right?
but then yeah. So if like what you said is like you've done like very general having like the color like contrast and everything like you feel like you always do that. You have to like do that for all your photos. So you can do like here.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I do when I have done my tweaking and I like actually apply them where I import photos.
Yeah.
So my photos are all edited after they're imported. But then you still have to treat things like exposure or like that. It's like still like small things you want to do. But I'm just saying that after you've done those small things, say I import all my photos and the present is already added to my photos, they all look generally okay. But then I still need to add in one photo to fix things like, fix white balance, maybe just do a little bit tweaking of sharpness and whatever. And then I do the same. So the rest of the photo will be like coming up to the same level. And then you might still want to do smaller.
This is really minor. How did you make that screen pop up?
Oh, here? It's if you have to be in the develop module, like here, and then you like your adding photos and here there is a preset. Because like you can like scroll really down this the folders are here, and you scroll up, there is a preset. And then you can click the plus sign here to to like what kind of edit you want to see. And actually, and then just you probably already know this, but if you go down there's a history, you always can go back to like this is actually how it works. What I just imported, and this is like present already edited, and it's already edited. You don't need to change things. But I do a little bit local adjusting because I think the quality kind of dark, so I kind of like lay out a little bit. So that's it. So after you've done everything, and now it's time to export, go back to the library, select all the photos, like whichever ones you want to export. It pops up like that. So you can choose, like I save all my photos, like added photos into Dropbox. So first of all, it's a cloud-based service, so it kind of has this small backup system, so I will never lose my photos. And plus, my assistant has access to them when she pick up the photos and all that. So I put in my Dropbox, I put in a subfolder, same way, date, name of the dish. And I actually renamed my dish name. And that name is exactly the blog post name I will use. You don't have to do it because it's, you already named your photos when you record them. But they have like different number. I'm just like controlling. I want them to be 1 to 5, not like 55. So I rename them, and then they have like the number or whatever.
So can you set the rename? Did you set that rename up so it's like it knows that like this? It just pulls it.
Oh no, I have to tell you.
You take it.
So you're right. Yeah, I have a wall percent. So I click on that. It shows that it already went into my blog photos, and I still have to type in my subfolder here, and I have to rename it. Like I just add whatever I want to. And it's the format is already set into. You can see the year, month, custom data number. That's the setup I use.
So sorry, can you scroll up again? So your subfolder is where?
Some photo will be active. Oh, okay. So after I save everything, it will be like so we have Dropbox, blog photos. This is the template, and then I have everything here. Like I have to link. And then so here's the thing, very important. The format always should not use JPEG. And I found out the copy 60 is the. So my ICO guy told me I should set it to 40. So when I set it to 40, it just was so bad. I can never do it. So the lowest I can go is 60, that I barely see a difference. So the default is 80, but 80 creates a pretty big file, almost like 500 KB. If you do a 60, I think it's like 200. For a photo of like I do unlimited the width of all my photos, so they have the same width in my blog post. I changed them to 800. It's slightly bigger than my blog post, like the original one. You should set it to exactly like your blog width. Maybe it's 640 or 700 or whatever, but it should not be the original size. And the resolution is 72 because, like 300 is for frame. Always 72 for screen. That's how it is. And then,
sorry to interrupt you. Listen, I don't know what the name is in person. And I don't ask you, but is that like a comment? Is that like a good?
which one?
Like 72 800.
Oh, wait,
That's the see, that's
Oh, that is just like that long.
okay.
So after I upload the photo, it does not like too small or
Okay.
if it's too big, WordPress is showing like it's still like small, but the file is just up there. That's what on the website.
So is that like a good?
No, that's my blog.
So you're
usually,
but 800 is nothing.
usually, yeah.
If you have a sidebar,
Yeah, if it's like, if you don't have separate computer, like 1,000 or something. But you can actually find that information, like you can check it. I can show you now.
oh, that's fine. You just look on your.
You can look on your blog and find out.
Okay, thank you.
And here I add a watermark to all my photos. It shows like my website on Cookbook.com, like Maggie Zhu photo. Here, if you want to do that, you can do I'm sure where you get the watermark from. So if you like create a new one, you can see, it lets you check your like whatever photo you want to put in. No matter whatever information you want to put in, you can choose a film, choose a format, kind of like, shadow, like, just to make sure that, yes, just to make sure that, I always use watercolor, kind of semi-transparent, and make sure that you have shadow that sort of shows on the light that go to. And it lets you, it shows this, position, you can do like on top.
Can you import which logo?
Yeah, you can use a photo. Here, you can choose a graphic.
Okay.
So you can import a photo and then you can still do like where you want to put it. Like, it's just you can do it here and it applies to the.
Does it have to be inverted some way? It's sort of logo, like, if your logo has color.
I just change it. Or I just change it.
I've actually worked for like a lot.
But then if you should, you have to use logo with a transparent background. And then you have a shadow. Right. And then you have a shadow, which still kind of shows. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, in that case, you need to
It's a transparent thing, the shadows on the back.
right. But then you can always do two versions and you can just choose whichever template. And just create a new one and save it. And I never touch it, so it just always there. So yeah, after So next time you plan to choose it. Well, I have different presents for different things, but usually I just use my setup. So after that, it turns your photos into how big it is. It's about 1 page for my photos, and then on the ICO guys will say it's pretty big, but just consider it originally is like 25 MB for my cameras. It's pretty, especially if you get rock. Yeah, so that's, don't leave go under that, don't go over. That's basically it. I also want to just quickly talk about how I organize my cooking and shooting. So I went to Omnivore's workshop and it's so impressive. Her photos are complicated, like all over the place, and all the beautiful setup. And I always thought she shoots on a tripod and we can work on style. But I was so impressed to see that she does everything in 5 minutes. So fast. So what she does is like, when you make a dish or you decide to make something, you think about the colors and, kind of just like what kind of food or story I want to create. And she just goes to, pick up, I'm going to use this background, props, and, a few things nearby. And then after so many years, I kind of figured out, because I only make savory dishes, I rarely make sweets. So I usually go to like 2 or 3 bowls. Like I have some great ones, and they're very expensive, but I feel like it's totally worth the money because I don't use them all the time. I decided I'm going to put food in this, and then I choose my background, and then always pick up like a few sauce bowls, like those, this is actually, let's see. Like I have this, like those things, the smaller, like black or transparent or like blue or whatever. I use them again and again, like, all the time. Like, nobody knows. I have like 5 to 10 of them. I just reuse them all the time. They just make the photos a little bit more interesting. They always use one towel. That tie them is kind of like my thing. Like, because I'm very bad at arranging them, so I just hide it and throw it there. And I pick out like utensils. I bought them on eBay. They're like $20 for like 100 of them. Yeah, because I just always prefer to use something substantial. They always look better than a brand new person. Yeah. So yes, it's kind of like you kind of just choose a couple things to make the photo groups more interesting, because fried rice is so boring. It's just like I don't know how to make them. It's just like, kind of, just put in a few more things to make. So I just get everything there, my food, because a lot of my food is stir-fried and stuff, so I have to cook them really quickly, and when it's done, I kind of have to shoot them within 10 minutes, otherwise it's just don't go good. So I just put things there. So the way I arrange things, so actually I spend more time starting than shooting. Because I'm in a local workshop, I learned that if you do one good style, you can create so many photos from them. So for example, like this one, I just do this one style, and I shoot one from top, and one close up, like a 45. Like one straight, and then it does not show here, but there's one I'm super close up from in. And you can crop it if you want to shoot in, but it's kind of like 3 or 4 photos and you're done. And then it's just like one side. And for the one that is kind of like complicated side, what I usually do is like I kind of create like an S shape, kind of draw people's attention. It's just always, you can trade your things, but I feel like you kind of want to create something like that. It just always works.
Is this how they call it?
Yeah, I don't know concept. I just like, oh, this looks good.
Yeah.
So I have more like lower on the floor So I use a coffee table like an IKEA, like super basic, like it's so high, I just go with like a tripod. I don't use tripod. I got so lazy. I used to use tripod like every time, like it takes me forever to set up. You have to move it. After the workshop, I opened my mind and she just has like no tripod. You know, everybody told me, oh, we have to get a tripod because it's competitive. Which I did.
I guess it depends on what lens you're using. You know, some, like, especially if you are, say, a shady person, I think that tripod really helps trying to get the best.
So the thing is, it depends on the magazine and like situation. So I have a very dark phone, so dark that I can only shoot movie because I tried so many times. Like I tried writing, uplifting, whatever. No, nothing worked for me. So this because no, this is natural light. It's just like a movie film because I started to use darker background because my room is so dark and I only have one window. I have no other doors I can. What I can do is to observe, you know, the light change during the day and you know, it's kind of like it looks better when I shoot in the morning or later afternoon. Like there's a point, there's a time like in the afternoon and later afternoon. It's just really bad. But I do it anyway because I don't want to wait. I just think like when I'm ready, the food is ready. I just want to shoot it. Do everything in post.
Do you use reflectors?
Sometimes, if I do, you know, have to reflect something, I use the white film or to, you know, just kind of like, you know, I don't want that much shadow, so I just put one there. But the thing is, you know, if you put it too close, everything will be lined up. There's no dimension. It's super thin.
Yeah.
So I sometimes just like holding on to it and sort of put things there, do the setting. I use like 35 to do the, you know, the overhead shot for the like the whole picture. Like sometimes it's a big pop and stuff. And I do a closer up. So I actually changed to my 50 to do that. It's totally unnecessary, I feel like. And when I do the 45 degree, I either can use a 15 or the micro. I have because I shoot with Nikon, so it's a 105mm micro lens, which is very expensive. You don't have that. You seriously don't need that because I use that because I have it. Because of like I spent so much money on it, I have to use it. That's the only reason. Because you can easily shoot this with your 50,
Yeah.
and you just crop it. It's a close up, and you don't need any more.
Can you show us the shot with 100?
Which is so I do a lot of. I do like this. Maybe this is like a, you know, close up, like inside of the pot, like chicken stir fry. I mean, you don't have, but you don't need 100.
Yeah.
Seriously, you don't.
But I feel like if I were to zoom in, it's still see it. If I try to zoom like 50, but do that with 50, it doesn't. Yeah, I literally have to do that.
Yeah, but you can crop it. Crop the picture. It's
You just want to know.
yeah. I mean, the graders don't mind, like, you'll be fine. And you save for like something else. No, or maybe something, I don't remember how much it is, but it was like $7.
Which is one of the several rules just has such a has so clear about
literally this is. Or yeah,
It's like you're using a trend. I don't like this one.
oh, yeah, right. So, about the estimate, talk about the shaking. There is no shaking feature. No, there's never should be a shaking feature.
Yeah.
So the lowest I have so I go is like 100. If I use like a light lens, the bigger micro lens, it has to be like over 100, like a 150 or 200, whatever it is. Like this has to be lower than your color grace. So it does not get shaky. Or you know, if you still get shaky, you should just turn off the speed, make it faster. But then later on I also realized that you can always just increase your ISO because when it gets really dark, like believe me, it gets really dark in your room. And I can show you how bad it is. when I shoot this. It was like almost like sunset time. I was rushing. This was like that. Oh my god! Do you know that I also was one of the 3,000? Oh my god!
And it's so clear, there's no noise.
You do that, is it?
No, I can't. I will. To goodness. I will. I can. You know, because you feel all like you see how great it is.
Yeah.
Nobody notices on the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. Yeah. You know, like when when I started out, I was like, no, I have to make it perfect. Now I just want to like get 3 recipes all over like every week, and I finish that, and I have to do something else. Like, do a yoga class. Which is very good. Yes, because like it's really something serious. Like don't even like I don't really recommend that.
Yeah.
I go like you can go up to 2,000, and it's pretty okay. But that's pretty awesome. And I was at the workshop, where shooting the high. It's after sunset. You cannot make how dark it is in that room. But picture, like her picture is not like all that like, and she never showed up like even that part, she still can hold. And it's like picture of her, she just got the letter. That is the first award.
Yeah.
It's so dark. That is so dark.
Well, if you can create that, then.
You seriously, I feel like you're just making that better.
Yeah.
Even actually with artificial lights, because sometimes you just have to. And when I do the step-by-step photos, because I'm making sort of there's no light pollution. It's so ugly, but I do it anyway, and I use my phone to take those pictures. I'm actually don't take better pictures in this situation. When they start or visual and stuff. Because the phone is smaller, so the speed can actually go lower. So it can create crispier pictures on my phone. So I just use that. Then after you put on filter stuff, it can go okay. It's not that okay. You have just to use it.
Yeah.
So it's actually one of those most helpful photos for marketers because they actually see one thing. Even though they're funny. Yes, after you export the photos, you can do one more thing like that. This is one thing I think that's a lot of people don't know. So you can go to print to create your own template and to create a collab of some sort. So this is a thing I use for Pinterest to create things like you can this is a template.
Can you show us how you do that?
So you can go to like
it has those things.
No. You have to they have some custom like the original Lightroom template and it's never worked. So you have to just open let's see what it is. Page setup. So this is actually for printing, but just ignore that, and you can choose your paper size, custom. So this is the tricky part. It's always in inches. So I have to Google what is 800 pixel and convert it to inches. And I just put this in. So for example, I actually recorded all of those. So this one,
You create all of those.
yeah. So this is 2.7 inches plus 7. This is 2.7 width and 7 inches tall. And then you can add those, probably settings. It's just a weird thing. Add to package. So if you click on that and it shows those little squares, and you can just drag them, create whatever, you can do step by step. Then there's no good way to do it. I can just make it kind of straight. You can just add those things this is your step by step pictures right there.
Yeah.
So anyway, after that, I also have this for my blog post, or the 6, or the 2. And then you just
just save it.
And then, yeah, and then you can just, you know, like when you want to put your bigger picture there, you can just try just to add the export with it. It will be like a nice formatted photos, and especially with Pinterest because it's not very famous like. You know, this is my Pinterest pin. Or you can do things like tofu fried rice. I have like because I shoot. These are really occasional, but still, I feel like this kind of photo can just it does better on Pinterest because it shows more like personalized and my readers, you know, if someone was know that I have those photos on my website. It's not like all of them, but it's sort of just the only part is that you have to the overlay of text, the text you have to do in Photoshop or Canvas or whatever your PowerPoint. Anything can add some text or whatever. We can all do that that's yes, that's any questions?
Can you go through, you said you have, those editing, you have like 2 and 6.
Oh yeah, I have a couple, I have a post for, this is a blog post. I have this, it's like step by step, if I have like 4 pictures and there, and there's 8. You can just break them down. You can just create a template. So after you're done tweaking everything, also it's the same. You click on the plus sign and you give them a name. I kind of just have to keep all those numbers here because I don't remember how big it is. It's so much pain. Kind of like tweak around, just trying to figure out the size of this image. Yeah, so it's easier. It's easier to do this in Lightroom than in Photoshop because Photoshop you have to put all your pictures in and crop them, like kind of align everything. This is so much faster.
I think I missed that. How did you get multiple
cells, like those squares?
Yeah.
You can click on you can add them by clicking on here. This is called the like cells. They have different sizes, which that'll work. We just need to break them into this is like, it's all like just like there. Smaller ones. It takes some time to make it first, but then they save so much time.
So related to the workflow again, so you make work photo, you're editing, what for somebody new, when you're looking for it, how do you know when you're done? Like, I feel like you've been good for a long time.
Right, when you're still figuring things out, but now my primary goal is to make it fast. But I don't want to spend 5 minutes on this.
Yeah.
And when it looks so bad, I feel like after the picture, it looks pretty okay.
Yeah, but I understand because in the beginning, I tell myself like, okay,
Yeah.
like I read that, I
So when I go back and see if you
yeah, I know what time.
so you look at the same photo, like,
Yeah, and then your brain starts going crazy, but I can like take risks and step back, or actually put it to my better half, because like that orange in space is not realistic to me, so I'm like, I should put that on orange, So like maybe just, text it to a friend, or maybe on this photo.
what about like when you're transferring it from, a lot of times, I'm not on my own yet, but I'll put it on, I'll have it on the class today, and it looks great, and then I'll put it on Instagram, and it looks like the white balance is off, it's more too
But then there's probably your phone that will color, like I changed my phone like and I feel like, oh my god, all my pictures are desaturated. I was so pissed off. I was like, why my skin looks like zombies? I was like, geez, because I use iPhone, I use Google phone, and somehow they put the older version has a better saturation on the screen. It's kind of like this one has oversaturated. So I have to tune up my photos. So good, like looks real, it's great. And after my new one was like, jeez, my face looked like blue with no work. Nothing new.
Yeah, like I go in, so obviously I'm good at editing this photos of them on my site and for just like but for Instagram, I actually make this like these in Instagram.
Yeah,
Sharpness, and I usually do whatever. Yeah. I don't know, but then, what's it gonna look like on your phone?
Exactly, you can't control.
Yeah, it's not something like it just shows like weird stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can start